Hello everybody, how is it going? It is latte time in my OCD recovery mug. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how compelled you are going to feel to work things out, to mentally replay, to mentally review and analyze and solve and get to the bottom of, like you're hunting out that missing piece of the puzzle that OCD is promising will cure you and give you the key to peace forever. And I cannot stress this enough, and I talk about this a lot on webinars and one-to-one calls, how much time I spent desperate to get relief that way. I thought that was the only way. I really thought it was. I thought the only way I could seek long-term relief and for me to finally live my life guilt-free was by solving the past, getting to the bottom of what happened, finding an answer, replaying it for the final time, and then finally, yes, jumping for joy because you finally solved this mystery that you've been trying to get to the bottom of for however long, years, decades, 5 decades, who knows? You know, OCD can latch to anything. It doesn't matter about time frames at all. It can go after anything. It can go after, ages during childhood, teenage years. It can go after in your 20s, 30s, 40s. There is no rules. There are no rules. There is no blueprint to what OCD will latch to. It will go after absolutely anything. So, just to highlight and just to remind you, you are going to feel utterly compelled to solve this one. And this one will feel different. And this one will feel the exception. And this one, it will feel like your life will never be the same again if you don't get an answer on it. If you don't figure this one out, then this one's going to haunt you forever and your life's over. Your life's forever compromised. It's forever impacted. It will never be the same again. No, I didn't stir that latte enough. Phil loves how I say the word latte. What do you think? Latte. What's wrong with saying it like that? Is it my accent? I'm enjoying my latte. It's important to have humour on these calls, to take the seriousness out of it, because OCD is very serious, isn't it? It's all very straight-faced and very, no laughter, no humour. Understandable, right? I was like that. I was very miserable. I was very locked in. If you saw me when I started with OCD, you could have made the most hilarious joke of all time, and I'd have looked at you with that checked out, vacant look, looking through you, desperate to solve this thing in the past. I was on the pursuit of finding this one answer that was going to give me relief. But I'm afraid to break this news to you, you are being scammed. OCD is the best con artist of all time. It's scamming you. You will not get relief that way. The only way, and I'm talking from lived experience with obsessive compulsive disorder, chronic severe OCD, especially false memory, real event OCD with the guilt and shame locked onto the past. Every event felt different because I was like, oh no, this is different to the thoughts because this thing actually happened. Fuck, this one, wait, the intentions were different here. No, this thing genuinely did happen. The last event, the last memory, that was OCD. But this one's different because of this and because of that. So this one requires solving. And I'm talking from lived experience. I know exactly what it's like to be in the trenches there, where every day feels torturous. Every day you wake up in the morning and think, oh my God, here we go again. And it feels that endless battle and you're getting nowhere. And I know that just sort of merry-go-round of solve. The only way, and trust me on this because I've tried all the other ways with solving and, OCD dangling the carrot, jumping out to reach the carrot to solve this one thing, and it moved the carrot away at the last millisecond. No, I was so close. I was within touching distance. I had my fingertips there, and nope, it pulled it away. The only way you're going to get long-lasting, sustainable relief will be unconditional self-acceptance and disputing our irrational beliefs. Because when you take a look at your beliefs, what you will identify and what you will discover is that you have many rigid rules in your mind around how you ought to get certainty on this past event, how you must know what you have done and you cannot possibly have done wrong. You must not have done wrong, and if you have done wrong, you deserve to be punished and never let off the hook at all. 24/7 guilt, shame, punishment. OCD gives you no leeway. OCD does not give you the benefit of the doubt. OCD doesn't let you off because you said, oh, I was drunk. Oh, I was going through a tough time. Oh, but I didn't really mean to do anything wrong. Nope. OCD doesn't give a fuck. Excuse my language. I'm trying to cut down on my swearing. OCD does not care about that. Every time you sort of go down the justification of, okay, I may have done wrong, but there was reasons for my wrongdoing. Okay, that's valid from a compassionate angle. Yes, when you can have compassion for your fallibility and forgiveness for your imperfections and your flaws, totally. That is a valid point. But OCD isn't going to just go, all right then, mate, yeah, that's fine, you're fallible, don't worry about it. No, it'd be like, I don't care if you're fallible, you've done wrong. You should have done wrong. I don't care if you're fallible. So we've got to practice it in a consistent fashion and see how we learn to accept ourselves, even with our flaws, even with our mistakes, and knowing full well that no matter what has happened in the past, zilch amount of solving is going to change the past. No amount of replaying is going to change anything. And even if you had the illusionary certainty or the illusionary satisfaction of solving the past, it is very short-lived. It is very temporary. OCD doesn't give you relief for very long until it ups the game, it distorts another memory, it twists something else, it manipulates an event, and round we go again on this solving train to absolutely nowhere. And then we just crash and burn and we think, for God's sake, I'm never ever going to find out this thing. And then we stay locked and trapped, or certainly what feels like you're trapped and you feel lost. And trust me, I've been there. Waking up in the morning, and especially if it was sort of the night before, like it was going after something that happened the day before, maybe I'd been drinking or whatever, and I thought I might have said something that offended somebody, or did something that was wrong, or just acted in a wrong way, or maybe looking back and think, okay, that was stupid drunken behaviour, said something that was slightly offensive or whatever. And then I'd wake up the next morning and how compelled I felt to solve. It's like every ounce of your body is screaming at you, going, you need to solve this, otherwise you cannot possibly get out of bed. You cannot possibly even put one foot in front of the other. You are doomed. That's it. You need to solve this. And this is why recovery takes the utmost bravery. It takes some serious courage. Because in that moment, to resist that, to sit with those feelings and to resist compulsions of not solving, and you're just sitting there, allowing the rumination, allowing the automatic analysis, allowing the automatic replaying, and you're doing all you can to disengage, and you're not trying to solve, you're not getting an answer. I take my hat off to you, right? Because that is bloody hard, and I know that full well. I managed to do it. Just an ordinary guy from Bristol in England managed to resist the solving. He managed to stop himself going down the rabbit hole to disaster, the rabbit hole to nowhere, the rabbit hole to OCD having a field day, the OCD fun fair. The OCD circus is going to take the absolute piss, is going to make a mockery of you as soon as you start going, oh, let me replay. And it's the conviction, isn't it? It's the realness of You need to solve this. You need an answer, because otherwise your life is just at standstill. Like your life is just here, not moving anywhere, nowhere, unless you solve this. And then you've got the fear of fear angle, because you then think, oh fuck, well if I don't solve this, then I'm gonna be stuck forever. And then it's gonna be a lifetime of guilt. Then it's gonna be a lifetime of feeling trapped. Because it isn't just, because if I just said to you, oh, if you've resisted solving and you'll have a day of just this and you'll be fine, that makes the resisting compulsion of solving so much easier. But the how OCD hooks you in and it yanks you in and it pulls you in is because it's you're forever. I'm trying to stop my swearing. I was going to say the F word. I'm trying to stop this. You're forever screwed. You're forever doomed. You're forever trapped. And then you think, oh no, I cannot be forever trapped. No. I need relief. And then it's pulled you in, and round we go on the mental replaying. And that mental replaying, that active involvement of that, your end, isn't just getting you nowhere. Frustratingly, is keeping the OCD cycle going. It's reinforcing the OCD loop. So whilst I'm sat here enjoying my latte, recovered from OCD, which has come from many perspective shifts, many belief changes, many life philosophy adjustments, changing how I view myself, how I view the world, how I view other people from a more compassionate approach, more forgiving and understanding approach, and more of an unconditional accepting approach. I can sit here and drink this latte and be very calm. Whereas if you decide to engage with the replaying, this calmness, this state of recovery, this mental robustness, this mental stability will get further and further away from you, because you are hell-bent and you are set on getting certainty, getting an answer. You're being scammed. View that as every time you actively replay, and I know how intense it is, guys. I know how real it feels. I know how it feels like an addict. I know it's like, no, you're possessed. You need an answer. You need to replay. I know that. But each time you engage, it's like shaking hands with a con artist. And that con artist is stealing precious time away from you. Not only whilst you spend replaying, but also the future. Because the more you replay, the more you engage with compulsions, the more time it is spent stuck with OCD suffering. The more time it's spent trapped in the OCD loop and locked in the OCD consuming cycle. We've got to try and resist these compulsions as if our life depends on it. And I remember saying this. I said, you know what? I would rather drop dead than replay this past event. I would rather run the risk of whatever it is I'm scared of coming true than replay this event. Now that took some serious balls. That took some serious grit. That took some serious courage and bravery. That was a real gallant effort to go there and I'm not going to figure this out. Your brain will be screaming at you. It's like taking candy from a baby. Your brain's going to go, ah! You need an answer. You need to solve. You need to figure this out. Your life is on the line. But the wiser you become, and the more understanding you become of how this disorder is operating within you, you know full well that you are being conned once again by OCD. And it will be a lifetime of being conned and being scammed and being ripped off. It will be a lifetime of that. That will be taken to the grave unless we decide to make a change. And not only with our philosophies and our perspectives and our beliefs, but the active resistance to perform compulsions. The no more replaying, the no more seeking reassurance, the no more figuring it out. It will happen automatically whilst the beliefs are irrational and the fears are very high. But you've really got to try and resist the active solving. It blocks the acceptance from sinking in, it blocks the rational thinking, and ultimately it keeps you stuck in the never-ending OCD cycle. Change will be required, but it will increase the symptoms. It will feel like your life is on the line, and your anxiety will be very high, the guilt will be very high. All the OCD and anxiety symptoms will increase, but you're going to have to go through the fire, you're going to have to go through the wilderness and dive into the tsunami in order to overcome OCD. But you can do it, guys. You really, really can. And freedom does await, and your future self is urging you on, it's cheering you on, it's pulling you along. And you can enjoy your lattes in peace once we stop replaying and once we get to a robust level of recovery. But just focus on what am I doing to get better. And if you're still actively solving and replaying and analysing, then that is going against the necessary steps to getting better. Guys, hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a like. If you're interested in one-to-one coaching calls and you need some assistance with bringing down the mental solving and the mental replaying, then please email phil@ocdrecovery.com and message the WhatsApp group number. It's in the description of this video, and you can get in touch and booked in with one-to-one calls. My name is Sam, and we also have many other coaches here that you can get in touch with, and we will get you in as soon as we possibly can. You don't have to live forever of just solve, replay, going nowhere, going round in circles. It doesn't have to be a lifetime of that. And now I can enjoy my latte in peace, because I get too carried away talking. I actually forget to drink my latte. Cheers, guys.